It's NECW Live, Friday night, January 13th at the Irish American Club, 177 West Street, Malden, Mass, with an 8 p.m. bell time, as NECW kicks off 2012 with New Year's Evolution. In a dream match main event, the infamous Bobby Fish defends the NECW Heavyweight Championship against former Ring of Honor World Champion Die-Hard Eddie Edwards. The NECW Tag Team Championship is on the line as the Dynasty take on the undefeated duo of Sean Burke and Matt Taven. In a special challenge match, the Real Deal Brandon Locke squares off against the Statement Ilya Markopoulos. Plus, All Money is Legal make their NECW debut against the Logan Brothers. Taka Suzuki returns to action, taking on Chase Del Monte and much more. Plus, free official 2012 NECW magnetic calendars to everyone while they last. Tickets are on sale now at NECWWrestling.com or call toll-free 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Be there when NECW kicks off 2012 with New Year's Evolution, Friday, January 13th at the Irish American Club in Malden.
Before I got here, way back when, all I knew of Eddie Edwards was what you heard around the locker rooms, which was, you know, that he was a good athlete, a good wrestler, and that he had worked in Japan. He had toured Japan for Pro Wrestling Noah, which was ironic because I was just about to go over there myself. I mean, I think his first tour and my first tour missed each other by months. So I knew at that time that Eddie was good. Did I know how good he was? No, not at all. Not until I stepped in the ring with him. We went toe-to-toe, back and forth, and from that day forward, and every other day that I had here in this company, prior to me coming back and winning this title, every instance where I was in a match with Eddie, he continued to show me how good he was. You know, coming in, no matter the scenario, I come in, I'm confident. I would not be doing this if I didn't have confidence in my own abilities. But to step into the ring with a guy like Eddie, at first, when you lock up, you wrestle around a little bit, and you realize, okay, this guy's capable, and he's not messing around. You step back for a second, you take a little inventory of yourself, and you're like, man, am I up for this challenge? And I felt as though I was certainly up for the challenge. At the end of 20 minutes, having gone toe-to-toe with a guy who was minute by minute earning my respect the way that he was in that match, I felt fantastic after that match. I felt like this place could be a home for me if my matches are going to be like that. If I'm going to go out there against that kind of competition and be able to go toe-to-toe and really sink my teeth into what we do in that ring, I felt like, okay, guys like Eddie Edwards, if that's who's going to be here, then this is exactly where I need to be. As that match went on, and then the matches after that, yeah, I could feel the rivalry developing just due to the competitiveness of the two of us. I mean, I was not going to be outdone by this guy, and it was really kind of a strange dichotomy because he was earning my respect, like I said, progressively. So like every instance I got, every time I turned around, whatever it was that he was putting out there was impressing me. But at the same time, it was making me want to go out and one-up whatever it was that he just did. So it was like, yeah, I mean, that is the essence of a rivalry to me. But yeah, it kind of had to develop because I didn't know Eddie coming in. But that rivalry seemed to pick up quicker than any rivalry that I can remember in my career. I gotta be honest, his attitude started to rub me the wrong way a little bit. The rivalry went from just competition to maybe a little bit personal at that time. I remember going in the Iron 8. I wanted that tournament. That was one of the first tournaments that I was involved in, and I wanted that tournament really bad. And I know that Eddie, being a defending Iron 8 winner, the way that he approached things, you know, frankly, pissed me off. And there were definitely moments in the four-way at the end where, you know, I don't want to say I was trying to hurt anybody, but if there was somebody in that match who I wanted to take out, it was certainly Eddie Edwards.
Edwards and Fish up top. Both men down. Fish looks like he got hurt. Fish looks like he got hurt on that fall.
On my way to the hospital, I remember thinking to myself, I was hoping that it wasn't a break. I think I knew deep down that it was. I could feel it, and an injury such as that just has a different feel to it than the normal things that we endure. So I remember kind of hoping against what my gut was telling me. I was also thinking about the fact that a lot of people don't take these things into consideration with wrestlers and what we do. I do have a family life. I do have 2 little girls that, I'm their dad. And one of them was turning, I think, 4 the following day. And there was a big party planned for her. And here I am, maybe 4 hours away. And I'm on my way to the hospital knowing that they're probably going to x-ray me and tell me, yeah, hey, something's broken, you need to stay here. Or even worse, you're going to have surgery or something more to go along with this. I did, in fact, have a broken ankle, and the doctors tried to get me to take, they wanted me to spend the night at least. So I agreed to stay at someone's house as opposed to staying in the hospital. So they agreed to let me go out of the hospital as long as I stayed in Brockton. So they brought in some pain meds to help me with the pain, and I took them, or so the doctors thought. What I actually did was just hold them under my tongue until they left, spit them out, because I knew damn well I'm driving home that night to get back in time for the next morning and the party and everything. What a lot of people don't know is that there was somebody who actually rode in the ambulance with me who, it would shock most people, was none other than Eddie Edwards. And Eddie was there in the hospital. He was there when I got x-rayed, when they came in and told me that it was in fact broke. So fast forward to me getting in my car. Eddie, if I remember correctly, was the one who dropped me off of my car, which was in the parking lot there. So he kind of helped me put on this whole song and dance for the doctors so that I could get out of there and make it home for the birthday party. So the ride home, I can't help but think about the events of the night and breaking my ankle and, who I was involved with and who was, I don't know, maybe responsible for it, who wasn't. I mean, things happen. But Eddie was a guy who, minutes prior to the accident happening, we were tearing into each other like nobody's business. And then he's the guy who's sitting next to me in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And then he's the guy who is there when I find out that it is broken. And he's the guy who I discussed, well, hey, how the hell do I get out of here without these doctors making me stay because my ankle is broken? What do I do? So at that point, I started to chip away the wrestler, the competitor, the guy that I just wanted to be better than. And I started to see the person underneath. And, to be totally honest, from there forward, Eddie and I seemed to see things a little bit more eye to eye, and it dawned on me over a period of time, especially after that when we traveled Japan a few times together, that we were very like-minded and very similar in a lot of ways. So, to be totally honest, that night was just full of ups and downs, man. Full of peaks and valleys. My thoughts when I saw the contract and saw Eddie's name there, man, I could not have been happier. Was I a little intimidated by the fact that it's Eddie? Yeah, of course. But if you gave me the option to handpick my opponent for this title, it would have been Eddie. One, because of the history that we have together in this company, and two, I have so much respect for him and what he's accomplished over the last few years. I mean, I was there at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan to watch him almost take the junior title off of Kotaro Suzuki. I was there, I was ringside. I basically seconded him for the match. I've seen what he's accomplished in Ring of Honor. I mean, any wrestling fan has. You know, I've seen everything that Eddie's done. And you know, there's part of me that is so happy for him because he's my friend. I'm happy to see my friend do some of the things that he's done, but then there's a competitive side that comes out and says, wait a second, I can do that too. So if you think for 1 second that we're gonna go out to that ring and when it's my title that's on the line, that I'm gonna lay down for you, you're crazy. I want nothing more than to stand in that ring, defend this title against Eddie Edwards. A win over Eddie would be huge for my career. A win over somebody of his caliber. You know, that's why I do this. It's why I wrestle. Is to go out and compete with guys like him. And for that win to come as my first title defense, man, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
It's NECW Live, Friday night, January 13th at the Irish American Club, 177 West Street, Malden, Mass, with an 8 p.m. bell time, as NECW kicks off 2012 with New Year's Evolution. In a dream match main event, the infamous Bobby Fish defends the NECW Heavyweight Championship against former Ring of Honor World Champion Die-Hard Eddie Edwards. The NECW Tag Team Championship is on the line as the Dynasty take on the undefeated duo of Sean Burke and Matt Taven. In a special challenge match, the Real Deal Brandon Locke squares off against the Statement Ilya Markopoulos. Plus, All Money is Legal make their NECW debut against the Logan Brothers. Taka Suzuki returns to action, taking on Chase Del Monte and much more. Plus, free official 2012 NECW magnetic calendars to everyone while they last. Tickets are on sale now at necwwrestling.com or call toll-free 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Be there when NECW kicks off 2012 with New Year's Evolution, Friday, January 13th at the Irish American Club in Malden.